This is a slightly different example where we've still got a crowned surface, but the crown in each direction is slightly different, but we've got this triangular corner here. Obviously this is not a revolve surface anymore, it's elongated, and so we need to create a hole once more into this area. And because we don't have this as a revolve, we can't just take the curve back and get it to revolve again. So we need to do something else here. So one option is we can go into Object Edit and Detach. So if I just take an iso palm up here, and we'll go to this point here. So we're going to get rid of this surface in the middle, and then we'll do the same thing on these edges as well. So we can snap to that edge using Control and Alt, so they line up. I obviously can't go from this corner and out the other way, that's why I'm going from the outside edge to this point here, snapping to that bit. Same on here. So all of those should join up, and now we can get rid of these surfaces in the middle. We don't need those. So I'm going to do this slightly differently. In the previous example with the sphere, we put in a surface and then we aligned these surfaces to it, but if we didn't want to change these shapes at all, then the other option is we can actually use square. And with square you can pick these edges, but like I said before, we'd end up with 180-degree corners. But what you can do is just use Control and just snap to those points. So you put in 4 points and that will give you a square surface there. I mean, it's called a square surface, obviously it's diamond shaped. And then we can take that surface, we can put a center pivot on there and then scale it. So we just need to make it the same size in all directions, scale it up in that sense. So we just want to make it just overlap the edges there. And then what we're going to do there is I'm going to increase the degree, because I want to align this in curvature in all directions. So I'm going to make it degree 5 by 5. So that's the minimum that we'll need. And then if we go into Object Edit and Align, so we're going to align that in G2, and this is in the Z direction we want to project this. So we're going to have Z on. I don't want history on because I'm going to go around each of these edges, and if I put history on then it's likely to interfere. So I'm going to just align that into there. So we've got project on, so that's creating this curve on surface there, and then we can do that edge as well. Now what happens is, because this is affecting 3 holes here, the chances are it's going to create a gap, and which is what it's done. But we won't worry about that. So we're going to just go around and align it as best we can. So we've got gaps on 3 sides. They are very, very small, and we could just simply increase the degree and I'm sure that would fix it. But the other option is we just go around again, and this time instead of using project, I'm going to just use G1 and edge, because we've already got curve on surface there, and I'm just going to go around. And the reason I'm using G1 is that I want to minimize the change, so I'm doing that on that edge. Obviously this position is adjusting here, which we don't want, but I shall go around and see if we can align that. And in here we can actually specify, although we've aligned that only in G1, we can actually change this up to G2 and see what the G2 is doing. So even though we've only put G1 on, we're getting G2, and that's because we were so close to start with that G2's sort of come in automatically, if you like. And that's often the case when you're at this point. So let's just try this one. So this one again, G1 there, but let's have a look at G2, see what that shows us. There we are, it's passed the test. Again, this is edge, G1. I'm going to change that to G2, see what that does, and we should, because this is symmetric, we should get the same result on all of those edges. So they're all now aligned in G2, which is good. And then we just want to trim out these outer surfaces. So let me just do that. So surface edit, this is trim, not trim convert of course, and we've got the curve on surface there, so we can just trim it to those curves on surface and do that. And then if we close that down, get rid of all the CVs, and we can see what we've got. So we've got this nice shaded model here, all curvature continuous. If we go into the diagnostics, we can get an idea of what the highlights look like. So you can see the highlights are very, very good indeed. So there's hardly any notice of any difference between that surface and the original surface, but we've now got genuinely 4-sided surfaces everywhere.